So do you also wish to add your landing page received leads on Airtable? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly, and in this video we are going to understand how to collect and track landing page leads in Airtable. So like you, I have also attached a lead form on my landing page, which is Elementor form. So what I'm going to do is, whenever I receive a new form submission from this form, I'm going to add the form submission details into my Airtable database. And to do this, we're going to create a connection between Elementor and Airtable. And we are going to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, using an amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So let's begin and create a connection between the landing page form and Airtable. So as I've already mentioned that I am using Elementor as the landing page form today. You can use any another two. So let's move on further and connect this Airtable and Elementor. So to do this, I'm going to open a new tab and search for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by typing pabbly.com/connect in my browser. Now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, using which we're going to create this connection. But before we move on further and create this connection, I'll show you something really helpful. This is the Pabbly community where automation users, business owners and marketers connect. Pabbly community is a space where users share their ideas, workflow tips, doubts and solutions. So if you're stuck at any step, the community is a great resource for guidance. And if you also want to join this amazing community, the link is given in the description box below. Make sure to check it out. Let's head back towards the landing page of Pabbly Connect and create this automation. For that, we have two options on the landing page. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can simply click on this button which says sign up for free, and you're going to get 100 of stars free every month to explore Pabbly Connect. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm going to click on this button which says sign in. And once we click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over we're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And now it is opening the dashboard of my Pabbly Connects account, and to get started, I'm going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me to select the workflow builder, the new one or the classic one. So the new workflow builder is faster, flexible and ideal for those who want a modern interface, while the classic one on the other hand is stable, has a familiar approach and ideal for those who want a tried and tested setup. So you can use any one from this. I am going to use this new one, so let's go towards the select of the new one. Now I'm going to enter the workflow name which is collect and track landing page leads in Airtable. So as I've already mentioned that for the landing page form I am using Elementor. Now let's move on further. For the folder, I'm going to simply select it as automations, and on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I've already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I have already created many, so I'm going to save my workflow in one of these only and click on this button which says create. And once we click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger starts the process and the actions are results towards the same. So let's move on further and click on this add trigger, and now for the trigger application I'm going to select it as Elementor because as I have already mentioned that I am using Elementor as the landing page form for my business. So let's search for Elementor and select it. You can use any another form too. Pabbly supports most of them. Now for the app event, let's select new form submission and click on this connect. Now it is giving me a webhook URL in order to create a connection between Elementor and Pabbly Connect. So let's copy this webhook URL and open the form for which I want to create this automation. So this is the form for which I want to create this automation, and now what we have to do is in this form you're going to see the button of edit with Elementor. So you simply have to go towards this edit with Elementor button, and after you come on this edit with Elementor, you're going to see the form fields and the rest of the form details. What you have to do is you have to go towards this form fields and then towards this left hand of the side you have to scroll and go towards this actions after submit. Now you have to add the action, so I'm going to search for webhook and add the action as webhook. And once we add the action as webhook, automatically webhook is going to appear over here too. So let's open this webhook, and now it is asking me for the webhook URL. So let's paste this webhook URL. And after pasting this webhook URL, what we have to do is we have to click on this button which says publish. So I pasted the same webhook URL which we copied from our workflow, and now with this we have successfully added this webhook URL in our Elementor form. Now after adding this, what we have to do is over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So we have to do a test submission in order to capture this webhook response. Alright, so let's go towards this preview changes and fill in this form. I'm going to fill in this form as smart user, first name as smart, last name user. You're going to see the email address, the mobile number. For the city, let's keep it as Pune. For the types of apartment, I'm going to keep it as 2 BHK and select the date over here. And now I'm going to click on this submit. And once I click on this submit, yes, you're going to see that we have successfully submitted this form. Alright, so let's open our workflow, and now Pabbly is going to capture the response of the same submission because we connected Pabbly with this Elementor form. And as you can see that Pabbly has successfully captured the response of the same submission. You're going to see all the details which we entered, be it the name, the mobile number, the email address, date or the city. Each detail is exactly the same. So to do this, I'm going to go back towards my workflow and click on this add new action step. And now for the action application, I'm going to search for Airtable and select Airtable. Now for the action event, I'm going to select it as create record and click on this connect. Now in order to create a connection between Airtable and Pabbly Connect, it is giving me two options: add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already created this connection, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me and click on add a new connection and then connect with Airtable. And once we click on this connect with Airtable, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So it's upon you if you want to give this permission for all your base or for a particular base. And if you want to give this permission for all your base, you can click on this add all resources and run the access. But if you want to give for only a particular base, you have to go towards this add a base, search for the same base. I'm going to search for the same base which is new leads and give the permission only for a particular base which is this new leads, and click on this grant access. And once we click on this grant access, our Airtable account is connected with Pabbly Connect. Now we don't have to select this base name, we only have to select the table names. As you can see, the name of my table is table 1. So I didn't selected the base name because I added only a single base. If you add all resources, then you have to select the base name. Now let's move on further one by one. I'm going to enter all of these details, but we are not going to enter the details manually by typing it like this, but instead I'm going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And when we insert the data from the previous step, automatically our data becomes dynamic and change with every new response received. So let's map the data. First we're going to map this first name, put a space and then the last name. Now let's move on further, map this email address. Now we're going to move on further and map the phone number. So one by one I'm going to map all the details like this city, and then we're going to map this types of apartment. And now after mapping all of this, it is saying enable typecasting. So if typecasting is enabled, it allows you to forcefully create an option with the parsed value in multiple choice type field. If you wish, you can definitely enable it. I'm going to keep it as false and click on this save and send test request. And once we click on this save and send test request, we have received the positive response that we have successfully added these details in our Airtable base. Alright, so let's open our Airtable, and as you can see, the details have been added right over here. Be it the name, the email address, the phone number, the city or the type of the apartment, each detail is exactly the same which we entered during our test submission. And with this, we have successfully completed our workflow. But now let's test this workflow in real time. So to do this, I'm going to open my form once again and I'm going to fill in this form once again. So let's say I'm going to simply fill in this form and click on this submit. And once I click on this submit, it is saying your submission was successful. Let's open our Airtable. We're going to see the details have been added right over here. And with this, we have successfully completed our workflow, and now we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. Whenever someone fills in this form, automatically the details will be added in this Airtable base. So yes, now go try this amazing automation automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. And now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.